This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight.
First tonight, a break from the heat. A change in the weather bringing much chillier temperatures here on the Suncoast.
A lot of people like it. ABC7's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan shows us how long we can expect this cool down.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we're looking at some gorgeous weather. That's the talk of the town. Isn't it good to be leading the news, not on severe weather or hurricanes or anything like that, but just beautiful weather after a long, hot summer, finally into the low 70s, and lows this morning were in the low to mid 60s, kind of a chill there with that wind too. It looks like we'll see the cool weather stick around throughout the day tomorrow, and then things will start to moderate a bit on Friday. 70 degrees right now, lots of sunshine, a few clouds off in the distance there you see. The dew point temperature is what's so nice at 49 degrees. That's really low. Winds are out of the northwest at 15, the pressure 2993. The reason why that number is so important, the dew point temperatures can't go below that, and it can get to it if the winds let up, but the winds aren't going to let up much. We'll see low temperatures, low to mid 50s for the most part. Temperatures right now, low 70s right near the coast. The Gulf water temperature, that's a good sign too, down to 79 degrees. That means hurricanes can't form. Water temperatures below 80 degrees, but there's still some very warm temperatures down to our south. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. There are the dew point temperatures in the 30s now in Pensacola, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, upper 40s here, as I mentioned. So expect a chilly night ahead. We are anticipating temperatures to drop down, as I mentioned, down into the low to mid 50s for the most part as that cold air sinks southward as we get to around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. That's when it'll be the coolest out there. By 9, it'll start to warm up. So look for mid 50s for the most part right near the coast. We'll let you know about the cool snap, and when another one is on the way, there is another one, and we'll update the tropics. We've got to keep an eye on a system down to our south. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. As Hurricane Irma threatened the Suncoast, shelters opened up throughout the area.
But people in the city of Venice were left without an open shelter. At the last moment, Venice's mayor decided to take matters into his own hands and open one at the community center without Sarasota County's approval. That move sparking controversy over who was responsible for South County. ABC7's Christopher Brantley joins us from Venice now with the latest on that debate. Christopher?
Good evening. This is the Venice Community Center. It is listed as a hurricane shelter, but as Irma approached, the county decided not to open it, and by doing so caused quite a bit of confusion for some residents. When the city of Venice decided to open the community center as a hurricane shelter, despite it being the 11th hour, the building quickly reached capacity, 400 residents and a variety of animals.
It was time, despite the hurricane shutters, despite the new construction. This is where we need to be.
At the time, we interviewed Phil Courtier during Hurricane Irma. He was grateful to have the center open its doors because he and his wife didn't know where else to go. Sarasota County refused to open the Venice shelter because they believed it sits at 13 feet elevation, 2 feet below the expected storm surge. We now know the building sits at 19 feet.
What I saw was a lot of confusion during Irma. No one knew if their house was safe. No one knew where to go for a shelter.
Venice's mayor is now calling for a citywide inventory list of neighborhoods, especially those that have community center buildings. He wants to know which are safe in a storm and which could become shelters in the future. Assistant City Manager Len Bramble says that's not a small job.
You don't know what's happened to that structure since it was constructed. It may have been improved, it may have degraded a lot, you just don't know.
Sarasota County Commissioner Nancy Dieter told us Venice should never have been left without a shelter and promised this would never happen again. She also told us she had the same idea of looking into neighborhood community centers. The county has hired an expert to look into their hurricane response. As for the Venice Community Center, Bramble says he would like to have a study conducted to determine the building's strength in a hurricane.
Yes, it fully meets Category 3 criteria, or yes, it meets these, it does not meet these, it would if you do certain work.
And while that study may be conducted on this building, Commissioner Dieter told us it's unlikely a shelter would be opened here on the island of Venice in the future, simply because of its proximity to the Gulf of Mexico. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you so much, Christopher. The Sarasota Police Department says one of their officers had to shoot and kill a dog while serving a search warrant today. Police went to a house on 42nd Street around 3 o'clock this afternoon. A spokesperson for the police department says a pit bull attacked the approaching officer. One of the officers then shot and killed that dog. A stretch of 42nd Street was temporarily closed because of that situation. However, it is not known if anyone was arrested at the scene.
Images of hate during a day of unity. Venice High School cleaning up after 3 people broke onto campus late last night and drew graffiti on campus walls. There were several derogatory messages directed towards students as well as inappropriate pictures. The incident is being investigated now as a potential hate crime because there was also a swastika drawn on the wall. No one is quite sure yet if this is related, but Venice High School was scheduled to celebrate Unity Day on campus. The principal told students this is a good teachable moment about how unity is important.
When things of this nature happen, obviously we don't want that to reflect the overall student body and the overall mindset of our school campus, teachers and students alike.
Graffiti was quickly removed. Venice police are investigating, and the school is offering a $1,000 reward to anyone who has information that leads to an arrest.
One man is in the hospital and several others are without a place to stay tonight after a fire ripped through a Sarasota home overnight. The fire broke out around 3 o'clock this morning at a home on Christie Avenue, which is near Fruitville and McIntosh. When crews arrived, the house was engulfed in flames. Around 9 people were living there and asleep at the time. The woman who owns the home says that the fire started in one of the bedrooms, and the 49-year-old man who was in that room was seriously injured and had to be flown to the hospital. The Red Cross is now helping that group pay for temporary housing.
They gave us a voucher to use at a motel or for some food, or they said whatever we needed it for, but it's probably going to go for somewhere to sleep because we don't have anywhere to go.
The state fire marshal's office is investigating that cause of the fire. New details tonight on a shooting investigation in Sarasota that sent one person to the hospital. Police say a man was shot along North Links Avenue around 9 o'clock last night. He was taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital with minor injuries. Police say so far no witnesses have come forward with any information about the shooting or a possible suspect, and the victim's name has not yet been released.
Florida is one of only 4 states in the nation where law enforcement cannot pull drivers over solely for texting and driving. But that could soon change thanks to a new Senate bill moving through state legislature. Right now in Florida, texting and driving is what's called a secondary offense. That means drivers can be cited for doing it, but only if they're pulled over for another reason, like speeding. This new bill moving through the state Senate aims to make texting and driving a primary offense, which would allow law enforcement to pull drivers over simply for texting behind the wheel. Not only that, but drivers could end up paying more expensive tickets.
It would be a very good idea to have this as a primary stop, and the reason is simple. A large majority of our crashes and everyone else's across this country is distracted driving caused by a mobile device or an electronic device. So it is paramount that we be given the tools to help combat this problem.
The State House version of this bill would also double fines for anyone texting and driving in school zones or through school crossings.
Now, we posted an unofficial poll on our Facebook page asking for your input on whether or not you think texting and driving should be made a primary traffic violation here in Florida. So far, the majority of those answers we are seeing have been yes, but we would like to hear from you. To join in on this conversation and share your thoughts, you can head over to our Facebook page. And just a reminder that if you want to stay up to date on the latest breaking and local news and see alerts on your phone instantly, you can download our new news app. iPhone and iPad users will need to download the new version. You can go to our app store and search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Android users will get that new version downloaded automatically.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a travel advisory warning for African Americans. Why a pattern of disturbing incidents has American Airlines and its passengers on alert.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus a rise in death rates for certain cancer patients. What you need to know to lower your risk coming up in Health Smart.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. but you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
wonder.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 16th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival presented by Publix, Saturday, November 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Game on, Suncoast. Get scores and highlights from the area's top high school matchups on Football Friday night, just after the news at 11:15. Sponsored by your local Honda dealers.
The NAACP is issuing a warning to travelers on American Airlines after the organization noticed what it calls a pattern of disturbing incidents reported by African American passengers. This new warning comes a month after the NAACP issued a travel advisory for the state of Missouri. ABC's Lana Zach explained what's behind these warnings.
The nation's oldest civil rights organization is singling out one airline for a pattern of what they say are discriminatory actions against people of color.
So we want to make sure, number one, people are aware that there's this problem with American Airlines. We've seen examples of people actually being physically and violently removed from those airplanes on one side of the equation. The other side of the equation, we want American Airlines to change the way it's doing business.
Hillary Shelton, the senior vice president for advocacy and policy at the NAACP, says the problem isn't anecdotal, it's systemic.
We don't get these complaints about every airline, but we have gotten significant complaints about American Airlines.
Tamika Mallory, a Women's March organizer, said it happened to her. A white male pilot kicked her off of her Washington flight when she complained about American Airlines changing her seat.
The issue is not even about the seat. The issue is about the way in which you are speaking to me. I said, you are being very, very disrespectful to me.
Airline passengers who have experienced these situations say they can find themselves powerless in the moment. And others traveling today say they will be mindful of the NAACP's warning.
But it's an unfortunate thing that this is happening to a certain set of people.
Just to be aware of it when you're flying, I think, is important.
If you were a passenger and you see this discrimination happening, what should you do?
I would pull out my cell phone as fast as I could. I would set it on record and do what we've seen so many brave passengers do.
American Airlines issued a statement saying that they employ a diverse group of people and that they serve customers from all backgrounds. They also say they look forward to meeting with the NAACP and discussing their concerns. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
The White House says the next request for disaster aid will cost tens of billions of dollars, and Congress should consider making cuts to finance it. The Senate sent President Donald Trump a $36.5 billion measure to help Florida, Texas, and Puerto Rico recover from this year's devastating hurricanes. The measure would also provide funding for western states affected by wildfires. It brings the total approved by Congress this fall to more than $50 billion, and more will be needed for long-term rebuilding needs. Well, talk of the town, Bob Harrigan. It feels nice out there today.
Yeah, it does.
My favorite day of the year.
Right, when we finally break into the 70s for highs as opposed to 80s and 90s. It's been a long, long time. And I know I went outside and heard the sweet sound of nothing going on as the air conditioner was very quiet. You know, and that made music to my ear, the cha-ching, no money to pay as far as that goes. We are looking at some warm temperatures eventually coming back into play by Friday. We'll be back in the low 80s, but you know, some people are going to enjoy tonight's cool readings, and some people making you know, light of a situation right here. This is all the yard debris that's lying around from Irma. Well, someone decided to make this for a nice Halloween actually a display right there. Kathy getting this photo of the Wicked Witch of the East right there. We appreciate those photos. Keep them coming. And you can see the Anna Maria webcam showing nice day out there, although on the cool side this morning, temperatures in the low 60s, and with a north wind, it made it feel a bit cooler out there. Anna Maria webcam showing calm conditions now, at least calmer conditions out on the waters. The small craft advisories have now expired for the coastal waters here off the Suncoast. That cold front still well down to the south of it, still moving through the Bahamas right now behind it. Cooler and drier air. Now, high pressure is building in, but with that high pressure over the lower Mississippi Valley, we're getting that northerly push of air, and that's going to keep us on the chilly side tonight. Low temperatures will be much cooler to start the day off tomorrow. It won't be as windy, but it'll still be a bit of a breeze, making it feel all that much cooler tomorrow. Low temperatures will be in the low 50s in places. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The dry air is in place, so no threat of any rainfall at all through Thursday. Friday looks good. Football Friday night, not a problem. But then as we move into the latter half of Saturday, there's a better chance for some showers and storms as a result of a tropical system and another approaching cold front. 70 degrees right now. The dew point is what's so nice at 49 degrees. That's low. Winds are out of the north-northwest at 15, so it's still a bit brisk out there, but not as strong as they were earlier. The pressure 2993, that is slowly rising, and temperatures will slowly rise into the mid-70s tomorrow, but plenty of sunshine. Should be an absolutely spectacular day. Not as windy, lots of sunshine, very low humidity, calm conditions out there, so it's going to be a lot of fun on a Thursday, and it'll be a little warmer on Friday. Well, future winds, I mentioned those won't be as strong, and that's the reason why the small craft advisories have been allowed to expire for coastal waters. They'll be out of the north and northeast tomorrow. That will also tend to warm us up. A little easterly component always tends to warm us up a little bit more so, as opposed to the due north wind that we saw today, and we'll see throughout most of the morning tomorrow. Well, the Futurecast is showing fair skies for us here tomorrow, sunshine. You'll notice that the clouds will start to come back this way as that high pressure shifts off the Carolina coast. There they are. So that means a return of moisture just in time for the arrival of the next cold front. Now, this is Friday at 4 o'clock. Notice it's well away from us. On top of that, here comes a tropical system from the south. The two shall meet, and when they meet, it's going to cause that tropical system to veer off toward the Atlantic. Right now, most of the models are suggesting a little earlier, so South Florida will have the bulk of the precipitation, but still, we're going to get some rain with that front and with the little bit of tropical moisture coming back into play. There it is, the low right there near Nicaragua. Not much of a chance developing because it's so close to land right now. 40% chance development over the next 5 days. It would track off to the northeast. Interesting to note, you see this yellow line. It moves here, then down into the Pacific, and then back again toward Mexico and Belize. Well, that is a result of the model's not really getting a good fix on this quite yet. So we'll have to watch it closely. It could just hang out down there, too. The water temperatures are still very warm in the mid to upper 80s throughout the western portion of the Caribbean. So there is a chance something could pop up out there, but right now it should not be a big factor for us. Winds will be out of the northeast at 15 knots to start the day, subsiding to 10 knots, so calmer conditions out there for boaters. Seas running 2 to 4 feet with a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now has cooled below 80 degrees, too. It's 79. Tides upcoming, 10:18 for the next low tide, and sunset, 6:52. The forecast looks like this for the next 7 days. A bit of a change. We'll see a little bit warmer weather on Friday. Still nice, though, low humidity. And then a 50 to 60% chance for storms late on Saturday and Saturday night. Sunday morning, 40% chance, and then cooler and windier conditions move in late Sunday and into Monday. Another cool day on Monday. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to first alert traffic. We're seeing a crash at US 41 and 14th Street in Manatee County. It's slowing traffic a little bit in that area. And then on I-75 for northbound drivers right near University Parkway, some slowdowns in that area. Jacqueline?
In health news tonight, America's obesity epidemic is helping cancer make a comeback. Research in the CDC's latest vital signs report reveals that nearly all cancers associated with obesity are on the rise. In fact, they have risen by 7% within the past decade. That is a disappointing turn, especially when compared to cancers not associated with excess body weight, which dropped 13% during that same time period. And October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As part of the efforts, many companies have launched pink ribbon campaigns to get the word out about the disease. But how effective are those efforts? According to statistics, the number of women being diagnosed with the illness has increased, but fewer people are dying from it. In recent weeks, scientists revealed 72 previously unknown gene mutations that can lead to the development of breast cancer. That shocking discovery has many rethinking the importance of those pink ribbon campaigns.
Studies have shown that early detection, education, awareness about breast cancer has all helped patients go out there and talk to the doctors, have conversations, and get early screenings. And if they're diagnosed early enough, they can get the treatment, and the survival rate is extremely good.
Coming up tonight on ABC7 News at 7, we'll take a closer look at how the perception of the illness has changed and the impact of the many breast cancer awareness campaigns. Meanwhile, the American Cancer Society is making strides to save lives from breast cancer. This Saturday morning, a breast cancer walk will take place at Nathan Benderson Park. All the money from the walk will go to fund cancer research, provide free information and support, and also help people reduce their breast cancer risk or find it early when it's most treatable. Registration for that walk starts at 7 a.m. Coming up, 5 teens face life in prison after pulling a prank that went horribly wrong. Plus, up, up, and away, a British adventurer flies to new heights with the help of large party balloons.
Did you know that Sarasota County was the first in Florida to be recognized as an age-friendly community? Whether you're 22 or 82, we strive to be the best place to live, work, and play. A community rich with opportunities and things to do for people of all ages. On Saturday, October 28th, we're advancing this movement with a free community event featuring live entertainment and hands-on experiences. You won't want to miss our entire community coming together for an age-friendly festival presented by the Patterson Foundation.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $199 a month, or get 2.9% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on a pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
If you have Medicare, I have 3 things you'll want to hear. There's an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana. It includes Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage, and it may save you money in so many ways. It's all in this book, and it's yours free just for calling. You'll see all the ways the plan might save you money, even on prescription drugs. In fact, last year, Humana Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan members saved an estimated $6,500 on average on their prescription costs. And you get all this coverage with an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. Even if you've looked at Humana before, you need to take another look at this plan. We'll send you the decision guide absolutely free, in a slightly smaller size, of course. Discover the all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan that could cut your costs and cover your prescriptions. Call 1-800-824-8241 or go to humanabigbook.com. The savings are too big to miss.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
5 teenagers are now facing life in prison after pulling a prank that went horribly wrong. Police say the group was taking part in something called dinging. They threw more than a dozen rocks at cars from a Michigan overpass last week. One of those rocks was 6 pounds and struck Kenneth White in the head and chest, killing the father of 4 on his way home from work. All 5 teens have pleaded not guilty to the charges of second-degree murder and have hired separate attorneys.
It was not a prank. It was a deadly affair.
There is absolutely an argument for second-degree murder here, and that is it was an intentional act, and there was reckless disregard for human life, and under the law of Michigan, they're old enough to be considered adults.
The teens are being held without bond, and they're due back in court on November 2nd. A law enforcement official says a deadly shooting at Grambling State University was not random or an act of terrorism. Authorities in Louisiana say 2 men were found shot to death near 2 dormitory buildings this morning. Both were seniors at the historically African-American school. A spokesman for the sheriff's office says a suspect took off after the shooting, and they are still searching to find that person.
Well, this may look like a scene from the children's movie Up, but there are no special effects here. A British adventurer flew 15 miles across South Africa in a camping chair tied to a bunch of large party balloons. He reached an altitude of over 8,300 feet, but after about 2 hours of sightseeing, he had to pop those balloons because of reports of strong winds that were approaching. The adventurer now plans to organize the world's most ridiculous air race. And meet the shelter dog that is stealing people's hearts across social media. This is Cheech, a charming Chihuahua that just loves to smile. His toothy grin quickly made him a viral sensation after a Texas shelter posted photos of him on Facebook. These pictures were then shared thousands of times, which eventually landed him a new home. I love that picture right there.
Yeah,
How
that's
cute.
a real smile. He knew he was going to get a home.
I know. He said, let me show those pearly whites. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, hockey's Tampa Bay Lightning bringing thunder right here to the Suncoast.
How a new project in Lakewood Ranch will boost the sports participation in the area. That story coming up.
The Alfa Romeo Stelvio takes the modern compact luxury crossover and injects it with personality.
Every crossover should be this good to drive.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Do you need a good laugh? Starting November 1st at the Player Center, everything that can go wrong does go wrong in the smash hit comedy Moon Over Buffalo. This wild Broadway series production shows what happens both on stage and off. Contact the Players at 365-2494 or at theplayers.org. The show must go on with Moon Over Buffalo.
I went in skeptical and came away impressed.
Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, a segment best.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.